man, look at that one. Oh man. Oh man. Hey y'all, Justin with Kayak Catfish. Well, I've got a beautiful sunrise coming up over here over the tree line, and I am set up and ready to catch some catfish. I'm starting out the morning anchor fishing. I'm in an old creek mouth here, the original creek mouth that dumped out into the main river channel before they flooded all this to make the reservoir. You can kind of see on my graph here, that little black dot is where I'm at, and my depth's about 40 feet, kind of bouncing around a little bit because it's a very narrow channel. The old original creek channel is very narrow, so as the wind and waves and whatnot moves me around, my depth is fluctuating by a couple feet there, but nevertheless, this is where I'm starting out. Got my baits dropped down and suspended right over this, and what I'm hoping is that fish that are in the main channel become active, move into this creek, they kind of get funneled right here through my baits. Right there's a school of something, school of bait fish of some kind. But nevertheless, I'm going to spend a little bit of time here this morning. I've got those pieces of cut skipjack, 2 head pieces on the front rods, about palm-sized chunks here on the back. And I'm going to spend a little time here this morning, right here at first light at dawn, and see if we get an active feeding period of maybe some larger fish moving in here. If this don't work out, then I'm going to pull anchor and go do some trolling. But right now, the hope is to just sit here in this choke point from this old creek channel, and that fish get funneled through, and hope some of them swim through my baits. So anyway, I am set up. I am ready for the fish. Let's hope we get some today. Ooh, I got thumped. I don't know which rod it was. I was turned around getting something out of my crate. Behind me, one of these front rods, it was this one. That felt like a flathead thump. It felt like that fish inhaling my bait. It's this rod. You can see I got a little bit of weight on it. My line is at an angle. I'm gonna let him just take that bait. I want him to load up that rod and get the hook. Yes, sir. We're gonna start out with a flathead this morning. I'm impatient, y'all. I'm about to crank down on this fish. Yep. Oh, yep. I mean, that was a big thump, man. I felt it through the whole kayak. Oh boy, he's fighting hard down there too. He knows he's hooked now. Normally I like them fish to put the hook in themselves because I use circle hooks. Oh yeah, that's a flatty. I know it. I know you could just feel boom, and that's when you feel that. That's that flathead just coming up and sucking that bait in. The jolt from it, you can feel it through the rod tip, reverberates through the kayak. That is an awesome feeling, especially right here just a few minutes into my trip. You can see the sun there. I mean, we're right here at dawn. This is a great time to fish. Often get this feeding window. I'm gonna play this fish out a little bit. I brought him up a little quicker than what I'd like. You can see the bubbles going there. I want to make sure he's fully decompressed. I was excited talking to the camera, y'all. I'm pumped up this morning. You know, I've got a lot of confidence in this technique. Just anchoring down in these choke points. Even right now, we're in middle of June, right here in the middle of the spawn. But I've still got so much confidence in doing this that I feel like I can get some fish anytime I'm set up like this. So I'm gonna put a little time in here. Like I said, if I'm getting some results, obviously we're starting off well here. But if I'm getting results, great. If not, then we'll take off. We'll go do some trolling. Try to put my baits in front of some fish. All right, I think we're about ready to land this one. Okay, let's bring this little guy in here. This other rod got hit here. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I got this flathead sitting in the floor. I'm gonna drop, that's a head piece that he ate there, skipjack head. I'm gonna drop it right down. Right quick, we got one messing with that rod there. I wanna get this bait back down though. And I'll show you this flathead. He's fat. I got another rod over here getting hit now. All right, we got some action, man. We got some fish coming through. Is that camera even rolling? Yeah, it's rolling. Couldn't remember if I hit it or not. There he is, buddy. Look at that. See if I can get him kind of in the light there for you. Beautiful flathead, man. He hit that bait so hard. That fish is hooked up. We'll get him in a second here. I'm focused on the flathead right now. But that was such a violent hit. I mean, it felt like a flathead. And I was getting something out of my crate here behind me, and I felt it. I looked around. I couldn't tell. I knew it was one of the front rods. I didn't know which one. And then I saw the weight on that one. And I was like, we got us a flathead. Okay, well, let's get rid of this one and work on this other one back here. Yep, I let him go too soon. I was going to try to get him repositioned, and there he goes. Okay. Let's reel this one in now. I don't think this one's going to be very big. This is probably just a smaller blue cat. Which is fine with me. I want to get action. I think I got one on the other back rod behind me too. Y'all know me, I want to get bites. Yeah, it's a small blue. I don't want them that small necessarily. I want to get some bites today, but I hope it's a little better quality fish. And the spawn is kind of unpredictable. I've been getting a lot of fish lately, just smaller in quality, but you know, it's a numbers game. You put in enough time, put your baits in front of enough fish, you're going to get some better quality. This fish will be better quality someday. Well, he got my line and leader all wrapped up there. I'll fool with that in a second. Let me turn around here and see what's going on with this rod. No, that one didn't hook up. It got hit, but it didn't hook up. All right, guys, well, I'm gonna get it. Look at this one now. That one got hit too. I've got some smaller fish, I guess, just hitting my baits right now, but nevertheless, set up in a good area here. These choke points ain't a bad time of the year to fish them, and off to a good start. Let's get another bait on. Okay, there's our next bait. Just a chunk of skipjack. It's good and fresh. Went out yesterday evening, caught me some. It's going down. That's on a Carolina rig. That's the rig I use here when I'm suspending. I let my sinker hit bottom, reel my rod tip down. I'm gonna set this in the rod holder. So now my bait's just a few feet off bottom there, ready for these fish that are swimming along. Well, this rod right here is bouncing around. I think he's got it. I don't think he wanted to get it, but I think he got it. His camera's facing right into the sun too. God knows if you can see it or not, but we're gonna bring up what feels like a very small fish. Is that a blue? Yeah, it's a blue cat. Thought it might have been one of them danged old channels there for a minute. Well, let's land this thing. This is really tiny fish. I've been getting dinked down there. Rod's getting tapped, and probably just been this size right here and smaller. That fish right there could barely get my bait in his mouth. There he is, little old thing. If I was short on bait, I'd probably use him. Lucky fish. I may cut me a smaller body chunk here. I'll throw that tail out there too. Maybe I can feed them that tail and they'll leave my baits that are on the hooks alone. We'll have something in good shape here when a whopper comes along. I'll hook me a golly whopper. That's the one I'm after. Every time I hit the water. Get them scales off there. There we go. Smaller chunk this time. Send it down. Back rod got hit. Yep, he's on there. He's on there. That was that smaller bait I put down. Let's see if we pull up on it here. Probably another small dinkity-doo-dah fish, but that smaller bait helped him get it in his mouth and get the hook. Yeah, another small dinkity-doo-dah. They down there smorgasbording on my baits, but I kind of thought if I gave them a smaller option, something that they could actually maybe eat, they'd leave my others alone, like a peace offering. Guess it worked for this one. Maybe if I sore lip enough of these, they'll move along and maybe I can get some big ones moving in. All right, little fella. See ya. See you when you're bigger. He left the bait. That was nice of him to leave us this bait, because I'm going to reuse it. Still in good shape. Hadn't been down there long. I'm going to just stay here until I quit getting bit. If I end up spending the whole trip on this spot, it wouldn't hurt my feelings none. If I got to pull anchor and go trolling, that's fine too. I'm going to do whatever the fish need me to do today, because I'm out here to catch them. Got something going on this front rod. My rod tip kind of stood up a little bit. I think he's got it there. That's one of them head pieces. If that's a smaller fish, he's had a bad day because he's just hooked himself just right. Let's go pick up. Yeah, he's on there, man. He's on there. He's had a bad day. He just accidentally got that hook. He didn't mean to. You know, I'm just dealing with the dinks right now, but hopefully some better quality fish are going to move through. But until then, I'll just keep catching these little guys. Look at that. I don't even know if he's got the hook or if the bait's just wedged in there. Oh, no, there's the hook. It's coming out the bottom lip. It looked like he just had the bait just wedged in his mouth. I've had that happen before, where they don't end up actually getting the hook. They just get the bait stuck. Sorry, buddy, you losing that bait. You can see what they've done to it there. They have chewed that thing up. I'll probably, since we got so many small fish here, I'm probably going to send it back down. Try to get one more on it. And I'll switch it out on the next fish. Let me drop that bait down while he tires himself out here. I thought he was going to flop around a little more. Now he's going to be calm. Let me get this down here. We'll let him go. That bait, normally I'd switch it out, but because we got so many of these little fellers down there just eating up, go ahead. Get back down there. But I'll switch that out on the next one. But right now, y'all, I'm going to just stick it out here for a little while. And again, it wouldn't hurt my feelings at all to sit here for the duration of my trip if I continue getting bit. I mean, I got some small fish here in this area now, but when you're in a choke point like this, I mean, this is the way into and out of this creek. Even though this area here behind me, you know, it's wide open, looks like a big, you know, open creek. Before they flooded all this to make the reservoir, you have to, when you're fishing a reservoir, you have to envision what the bottom composition looks like underwater. You have to think about what was there before they flooded it. And so back in the old days, this right here was where I'm setting, was the original creek mouth that dumped off into the main channel over here. So I'm kind of at the top of the drop, and then it goes off. And so fish that are working out of the channel to come up into this creek, this is the path they're going to follow. And over here to my left is like a point that comes out. Over here to my right is a point that comes out. And so fish get funneled through right here. And so, you know, again, right now I've got some small fish here, but better quality fish could be moving through any hour of the day or night. And if you got baits there, you got a dang good chance of catching them. So places like this are year-round type places to set up and catch fish. But you know, right now during the spawn here, mid-June, my best success historically has just come from moving, just covering water, drifting, trolling. You know, out here today I don't have any current flow, so I'd be trolling if I get on the move. But doing that, I'm getting more ding taps here, musical rods. But drifting or trolling just allows you to put your baits, cover more water, put your baits in front of more fish. And you know, it's just it's that time of year. Fishing's a little bit harder right now for better quality fish, but they're still catchable. You can do it. You just got to put the time in. Oh, look right there. Bud's pulling some drag now. That's a pulling. Of course, he'd hit the bait too that's facing toward the sun. Actually, maybe pulling some drag because my button had been hit there. No, that feels like a hard pulling fish. My drag had been loosened a little bit though. I think maybe Must have hit it in the car or something, putting it in and out of the vehicle. This is going to be better than the other small dinks I've been getting, but who knows how much you're going to see because I'm facing right into the sun right now. It's in a bad angle. That's all right. Still good to enjoy the fight here. That's what it's about for me, just getting out here and doing what I love to do. This is going to be a blue, and it's going to be a better quality blue. I've had a better fish move through here. Let me get him up here. I can see him dancing around there at the surface. Yeah, that's a nice fish right there. Nice fish. Nice blue cat. Woo! I'll take that 7 days a week, y'all. Well, this one is hooked through the bottom lip. That is a bad spot to be hooking a big fish. See where that hook point's coming back out here? That's a good way to get a hook in you right there. I sure don't want that. I don't want him to pop free either though. You know what I'm gonna do? This right here is an opportunity for the fish grips. There we go. That's a nice fish, y'all. That's a nice fish right there. I'll take that, buddy. Had to bust out the old fish grips on this one. That's why I keep them handy for situations just like that. Sometimes they just get that hook in a bad spot, you know. But we got him in, and that's a good one. Get rid of them things now. I told you, y'all, spawn or not, you set up in places like this, when big fish come through, right there and waiting on him. Oh, that's awesome. That was a good time. It's pull and drag, and then I realized my drag had been loosened up, you know, and I thought, oh heck, I'm just misjudging the fish because my drag's too loose. And then it took off again. I was like, no, that's a pretty good fish. That's a good time. All right, I'm gonna let him go. Blue kitty, you were fun. We'll see you next time. Oh goodness. Give me the wake up call there. Splash me in the face. And y'all, that one ate the smaller chunk of skipjack too. Remember, that was that smaller, you know, maybe a quarter size, a little bit bigger than a quarter size chunk I had on that rod. So I had put that one out to try to hook the smaller fish, try to appease them, but that one come along and ate it. So I think what I'm gonna do, because these baits up here, I mean, it's been musical rods on these small fish. I think what I'm going to do, since I'm going to pull out another skipjack out of the cooler anyway, is just rebait everything. It's a good opportunity to do that, and we'll get a whole new fresh set of baits down there. But I'm going to put 2 larger head pieces on. I'll have a larger midsection piece, and then I'll put another small chunk on one of these rods too. Just a variety of cuts and variety of sizes. All right, let's get these skips cut up here. I went out yesterday evening there and got me, just fishing from the bank, and got me some. Enough for today's trip and probably tomorrow's too, unless just really go through some bait today. But I'm set here for the next couple days, and again, I'm just going to mix up the, well, hell, I've gotten distracted here talking to you all. Let me just cut one of these midsections in half maybe. Here I did talk about putting on a smaller chunk, and then I cut normal sizes. I'll get my scissors. My knife is so dull. I keep talking about this knife and how I need to replace it, and I never do. I'm lazy. There we go. I'll put that on one of these rods, and then have a larger chunk, and then of course them 2 head pieces on there too. So we'll have a variety out here in a second. Y'all, I got a fish on here. Sure as the world. I'm getting my baits switched out. And I got a daggone fish. This one had hooked up. That's another one of them small. He's gonna pop free. He just skin hooked right there. Right there on the whisker patch. There he goes. He out of here. I'm just getting rebaited, putting some fresh pieces down. Them head pieces up there, I know they are chewed up. I definitely want to like them head pieces to be in good shape if possible, because that's the big fish bait in my opinion. I do better on them over the course of the year than anything else. Front rod, that's on one of them fresh head pieces. That's hooked up. He's a digging down there, man. Yeah, my fresh baits hadn't been on but just a few minutes. I just looked at the phone there a minute ago. It's a little after 8 right now. So off to a great start this morning. And this right here, it's going to be just a larger dink. But definitely better than the other dinks that I've gotten so far. Some of them things have just been small. But there is some better quality. The flathead, the larger blue. I mean, there's some better quality fish moving through here. I think from what I've seen thus far, I'm inclined to just ride it out here. Just stay anchored down on this spot for the duration this morning. Let me see if I can. Let me bring this thing in. Up. Quit. Lord, you about threw my other little small body chunk out. All right, well, let's get this guy out of here before he goes crazy again, man. He's wound up. Them small ones, they never want to cooperate. Let me get this bait back on. But I'm probably going to fish today, y'all, till probably about 11 o'clock today. It's going to be so dang hot out here. I'd say I'll be off the water around 11, but I think I'm just going to ride it out on this spot. There's that bait going back down. Because I've seen enough out of it that I'm pretty confident I'm in a good area to potentially catch another big fish. So I think it's going to be smarter for me to just stay here and let them come to me in this situation today than go trolling and go on the move. I think the small bait's hooked up again. Yeah, he's on there, man. A small bait. You know, it ain't never a bad idea I normally like the bigger pieces, you know. But especially during these warmer months where their metabolism's high, but that ain't never a bad idea to vary your sizes and cuts. This one here, he's just gonna be another small. But that's a fish that if I'd had a big, you know, palm-sized chunk, maybe I don't catch him, you know. Maybe he sits down there and bites at the bait, but maybe he don't ever get to hook. So that's another one I get to reel in. And I've got that other sliver here from that chunk that I'd cut in half to make that bait. I've still got it sitting up here, so as soon as this one calms down enough for me to get hold of him, we're gonna drop it down. See if we can get us another. It's been an active day thus far. All right, another bite, another blue cat. They gone. Let me get my hook back over here, and I'm gonna put this other small section of the skipjack on again. That's the other body chunk there that I'd cut in half. That's the one that it eats. So I'll send it down, and I wish I could get the golly whoppers to eat that size bait every time, man. I wouldn't need near as much bait, that's for sure. Pieces that size, some of the skipjack I catch, I'd get 10 baits out of. I'm gonna show you something here on the graph, y'all. Look at all them fish down there by my baits. Them solid lines that you can't hardly see because of all the fish are my baits just off the bottom there, and the red and yellow lines are fish coming up there. I mean, they are all over. That's what's causing that musical rod just boom boom hitting all the time. It's those fish right there taking bites. Man, look at that one. Oh man, well, I about fell overboard right there, didn't I? Man, that one thumped it hard, man. That's on the headpiece. Y'all, I did a little filming segment on my graph showing all the dinks down there a little while ago. I don't know if it'll be in the video or not. I don't know if the glare and whatnot will show up on the camera. But my rods stopped getting tapped. And I've sat here for probably 20 minutes or so after I filmed that segment with just nothing going on. Those fish all moved out, and so I'm sitting here just like, okay, maybe it's about time for a better quality fish to come along. Sometimes that happens, and small fish get run off. And sometimes they just quit biting, and that's happened some too in recent trips where the bites just kind of shut off as the sun gets higher up in the sky. That morning bite, you know, it just quits. But this one here is going to be better quality. This one's going to be, I know when he hit, and I had a hard time getting the rod out of the rod holder, but this one was going to be a good one, and that is a good one. That's a good one, man. It'd have made for a better video if I'd went overboard trying to get the dang rod out, but I'm happy I'm still sitting here dry and battling this fish. Yep, every year, y'all, every year I get some good fish during the spawn. Oh, let's try to get hold of this thing right here. Come here, big girl, come here. No, come here. Nope, nope, nope. Come on up in here. Woo! That's a dang good fish right there, y'all. That's one of them whoppers right there. Right on a tooth patch too, buddy. Hooked right on the top of the mouth. Now this one right here, y'all, this is a female. And this fish is kind of skinny for its size. So, you know, I mentioned we're right here in the spawn. This fish, you know, a few weeks ago was big, filled out, full of eggs. She's dropped her eggs, and now pretty skinny. A long fish, but, you know, very skinny. You give it another month or so, this fish will be filled back out again. But regardless of its current weight, this thing was a fight, man. Absolute fight. Them small fish that has been plaguing me, you know, chewing on my baits, musical rods, 20 minutes or so ago, they just moved out. And I was like, oh, you know, sometimes when that happens, it's because you got some bigger fish moving through. And, you know, here we are a few minutes later, this one hits. That's awesome, man. The weight's gone, but the power's still there in this fish. It's still a heavy fish. All right, she gone. Let's get you out of here, big girl. Go feed up. Whoo, that was a good time. Biggest fish of the morning, I ate the skipjack head. And that was the bigger of the two baits. Sometimes I get comments, y'all. I'll go ahead and address this too, because this is one of them things that I do to manipulate and just kind of mess around with people. So this fish here ate the skipjack head with the red sinker. And oftentimes, because I've got one red sinker out, people notice that when they're watching the videos and they comment like, what's that red sinker? What's the deal with that? Does it help you catch more fish? Blah, 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 blah. And I kind of do that. I put one red sinker out just to boost my engagement, because new people watching the channel, they think there's something special about that red sinker, right? So they comment, boost my numbers. But this sinker has nothing to do with me catching that fish. They don't care what the color of the sinker is. They're after that bait. Now, one of the things I do is usually whatever rod has the red sinker, I put my best quality bait on there. And so it's usually got a big skipjack head on it. So why do I catch more big fish with the red sinker? It's because I've got the best quality bait on there. So anyway, for those of you who my regular viewers, you all know that I kind of josh people a little bit, kind of toy with them with that whole red sinker deal. But really, it has nothing to do with me catching fish. It's all about the bait. That's what they're eating. That's what they're drawn to. And those skipjack heads they catch the fish, buddy. Oh, this front rod again. It's hit again. I had another little break, probably 15, 20 minutes. Nothing really going on. And we hooked up again. I don't think this one's going to be quite as big as that whopper that I got before. No. Look at it, it had another little small fish come up with it. It had one, maybe a third of its size, come right up there with it. That's a larger dink. There's that old ornery thing, man. Got me sopping wet here. Get out of here. That one was a chunky thing. Had another small fish come up there with it. The bait's still in really good shape. The mouth is tore up, but meat of it there, the important parts, still really good. So I'm gonna just rehook it, send it right back down. Won't get another one on it. Hopefully get another one on anyway. Like I said, the bites have slowed down here, but that's all right, because now my baits are going to be in good shape when better quality fish come along. Has he got it? I think he does. Let's get him. Oh, this may be the first fish I've caught on this rod today. I don't know if it is or not. It's another skipjack head. I'd switched it out probably, I don't know, an hour or so ago. The bite has just, it's died off. You know, the sun's getting high up in the sky now, and the dinks have left me alone, and they just ain't much happening out here, and that's kind of how it's been lately. I've been on a morning bite where just a flurry of activity there for a couple hours, and then it just kind of tapers off. And that's fine by me. I'll catch them while I can. Get out of here, Blue Kitty. You've had your minute of fame there. Let's check out this bait. It is still, it's been chewed on a little bit. But I mean, overall, it's got some meat in it. It's still pink there. I'm gonna send it back down. We'll see if we can get another one on it. I'm just probably gonna fish here. I'd say I'm gonna give another hour and a half out here and see what I can get. This, you know, again, this morning bite has been lately, I just get that flurry of activity right there around dawn for the first hour or two, and then it really just tapers off, which is fine by me because I like fishing the morning hours anyway. It's a chance for me to get out here before the pleasure boaters get on the water and the yacht club comes out, and before it gets really hot, I can come out, catch my fish, have my fun, and be off the water before it's just miserable out here. So it's a good time. So if these fish want to coordinate their eating schedule around my fishing schedule, that's perfect. Well, guys, the morning bite has just kind of petered out. The farther the sun has gotten up in the sky, the worse the bite has gotten, and I haven't had anything going on here in a little over an hour now. It's just been completely dead, but it was good while it lasted. Started with the flathead, got two nice blues. That one was really nice, and I'll take a day like this anytime I can, and especially this time of year during the spawn. But anyway, it was fun while it lasted. I'm gonna get out of here, go home and get me some lunch, and we'll do it again tomorrow. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.